Ever since the launch of Starfield, which wasn't exactly a stellar showcase of optimization for PC, Bethesda claimed the game was optimized for PC, suggesting players might need to upgrade their rigs.
Why did you not optimize this game for PC?
We did. It's running great. It is a next-gen PC game. Upgrade your PC.
However, that narrative has taken a turn with the recent release of a patch promising improvements across the board on PC. In this video, we'll be putting those promises to the test and comparing the performance of the new patch to the old version of the game. Before we dive in, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any updates. Now without further ado, let's first discuss the test system and methodology. I'm using a Ryzen 5 3600 paired with an RX 6600 and 16GB of DDR4 3200MHz RAM. All components are stock, nothing is overclocked. The driver version is the AMD beta driver for AFMF, updated to the latest patch as of November 9th. Settings used were presets from ultra, high, medium and low, with the motion blur and FSR2 disabled for reasons I'll explain later in this video. I tested version 1.7.36 of the game, which is a previous patch, and compared it to the latest patch 1.8.83, currently in the beta branch on Steam. I focused on two cities in the game: the city Elena, a cyberpunk style city, and Alika, a CPU intensive city. Two benchmark runs were conducted for each scenario to limit discrepancies, and you will see these runs in the background throughout the video. Now let's talk about the results here. First with the ultra settings. In Elena City, from patch 1.7.36 to 1.8.83, we go from 44 to 45 average FPS, which can be a margin of error, and looking at the 1% lows here, they remain the same, so I thought to myself, where are the improvements exactly? But just wait, because afterwards when I moved to the lower settings, it started to get better. Maybe because the game is totally GPU bound in this scenario and the improvements they made in this patch were on the CPU side. But looking at the high settings in the same benchmark run, we see an improvement from 48 to 50 FPS, and on the 1% low side 35 to 36 FPS. And now as you can see, the results have started to show a little bit here. On the medium settings, it went from 60 to 64 FPS, further improving because now we're getting more and more CPU bound, and from 45 to 44 on the 1% low side, which is within the margin of error. At the low settings, the results were from 70 to 75 FPS and 49 to 52 FPS, showing a nice bump in performance. Moving on the Alika map, which is far more CPU intensive, at ultra settings, average FPS went from 28 to 31 FPS and 19 to 23 FPS 1% lows. So when the game is CPU bound, even when the FPS is low, it's showing about 10% improvement in the scenarios. On high settings, average FPS went from 31 to 33 and 22 to 25 1% lows. At medium, the story was the same, from an average of 38 to 41 FPS and 27 to 30 FPS 1% lows. So the same, about 10% improvement here too. At low settings here, we get from 45 to 50 FPS on the averages and from 33 to 36 on the 1% low side. So this covers mostly all the settings tested. So what does this exactly show? We can actually see that in the CPU bound scenarios in Aquila City, the performance improvement was greater than in Elena City. So they have improved the CPU usage mainly in this patch, which is very good considering the CPU usage in this game previously was not satisfactory, and there is still some room for improvement in this. A little bit of talk about the upscalers, as I did not use any upscalers in this game, mainly because FSR2 was not working correctly in the previous patch and it was showing some visual glitches, so I just didn't include it in the testing in this video. But the good news is that they have improved FSR 2.2 in this patch and it doesn't at all look bad anymore, and you guys can use it in the game now. I wasn't able to capture any footage for that, but you guys get the idea. So that's it for today's video, guys. If you liked it, please do consider taking a little bit of time to like the video. If you're new to the channel, then consider subscribing, because there is always something new that you can learn anywhere. Now that's it from my side, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.